Argument before the spotlights. BTS. 1 minute before going on stage Los Angeles. The large arena buzzed with thousands of voices. The ARMY fandom chanted names. Light sticks flickered like the night sky. Backstage, BTS were preparing to go on stage. The light cut like a knife. There was a hum in their ears. Makeup on their faces. Everyone was tense like a taut string. The final moments before the performance are the most vulnerable. No one wanted to make a mistake. Neither in a movement, nor a note, nor in feeling the rhythm that holds not just a concert, but an entire era. And then, Taehyung, why aren't you keeping the choreography synchronized? Jin snapped sharply, looking at V. V, who is usually hard to upset, raised an eyebrow. I'm doing everything right. It's you who's not following the beat. The tone was no longer joking. The tension hung in the air like an electric shock. The other members turned around. RM and J-Hope stepped forward, trying to neutralize the situation. Suga, standing with headphones in his hands, frowned, considering whether to intervene. But the argument had already flared up. You always do this, Jin said. Doing things your own way, and thinking it's genius. And you just pressure everyone with your control, V retorted. Silence. Even the managers stopped breathing. And at that exact moment, BTS, you're going on. 30 seconds. Jungkook looked around. What should we do? But V and Jin stood like two stubborn stones. Neither wanted to give in. Concert under a mask, they went on stage. The arena exploded. Thousands of people screamed with delight as BTS began the show. Cameras, lights, energy, all as always. But inside, V and Jin felt something had cracked. Their eyes didn't meet. Their smiles were. Politely musical. Professional. But not sincere. The fans noticed nothing. They sang blood, sweat, and tears, while an unspoken grudge still hung between the members. Conversation at night later at the hotel. When the performance was over, they gathered in one room. The documentary camera Burn the Stage was rolling. Someone suggested they talk about what happened. V lowered his head. His voice trembled. I didn't want this to happen. It's just that I don't like being criticized right before going on stage. It throws me off rhythm. Jin sat quietly. Then suddenly spoke. His voice was trembling too. I just want everything to be perfect. But you're right. I often speak harshly. I'm sorry. V wiped away a tear. Jin did the same. That evening, both apologized to each other. The other members only sighed with relief. They knew that in BTS, emotions are fuel, but also fire. Sometimes it warms. Sometimes it burns. What does this mean? This episode showed fans that BTS are living people, not stage machines. Even the closest friends argue under pressure, but they know how to talk, forgive, and grow through pain, like a real family. Jin later said in an interview, if we hadn't resolved that argument, BTS might not even exist anymore. We are very different, but we try to understand each other. That's more important than a perfect performance. Yoongi, who almost gave up Seoul. Early 2011. A basement without windows, a dim lamp, dusty speakers. 17-year-old Min Yoongi sat at his old laptop working on a beat. He barely slept. He barely ate. He just lived through music, as if it was the only door to the reality he wanted to be in. He dreamed of becoming a producer. He wrote music at night, studied during the day and in the evenings, worked as a food delivery guy just to survive somehow, not for himself, for the future, for his family. One turn of the wheel, one rainy evening in Seoul, Yoongi was riding a bike with a delivery order in his backpack. He didn't like delivery work, but tolerated it. It helped pay the rent and the transport to the big hit studio where he had recently auditioned. That evening, something went wrong. At an intersection, a car cut him off. Crash. Noise. Screech. Pain. He didn't remember how he ended up on the ground. Only the cries of bystanders and a throbbing pain in his shoulder piercing through his whole body. A choice without choice. The doctor said, damage to the shoulder joint. Recovery will be long, possibly chronic. For a dancer and idol, this was almost a sentence. He hid the pain from the trainers. He tried to rehearse, but every movement was a scream in his muscles. There were days when he just sat in a corner, gritting his teeth so he wouldn't scream. He thought, maybe I shouldn't continue. If you want to, you can leave. On one especially dark day, Yoongi came to the Big Hit office. He was ready for the worst. I understand if you let me go. I'm not the same as before. Maybe I'm holding the group back. He was sure they would ask him to leave. But instead, the producer said, no, we believe in you. We'll cover your treatment. We want you to stay. This was a turning point. Suga starts writing again. He began again. Slowly. With pain. With anxiety. He could no longer dance at full power, but began creating music with even greater passion. His pain became his fuel. In his demos, he first allowed himself to speak openly. About depression, about pain, about broken hopes. These were tracks that would later develop into his alter ego, Agasti. He wrote in the song The Last, Depression, OCD. They keep coming back again from time to time. People say it's okay, but I don't feel okay at all. Yoongi opened not only his soul, but also a new side of K-pop, one where there is room for weakness, fear, and healing. The debut still happened. On June 13, 2013, BTS debuted. Yoongi stood on stage, with the very shoulder that had almost taken his dream away. He smiled, not from happiness, but from surviving, from not giving up, even when he wanted to disappear. He later said, if Big Hit had just kicked me out then, I might not have lived to see today. But they believed. And then I learned to believe in myself. This is not just a story about an injury. It is a story about a second wind, about how support can change destiny, and how pain can become the beginning of true art. Where's my mic, Taehyung? Singapore. Love Yourself Tour 2018. Backstage was chaotic. Staff checked equipment. BTS warmed up. The concert was about to begin. V stood in the dressing room, fiddling with his personal microphone, adorned with crystals and custom-tuned for his voice. He hummed to himself, singularity tilde, singularity tilde. Then he checked his watch, about 15 minutes left until they went on. He decided, I'll quickly go to the restroom. Error 001, microphone in hand. Usually, idols put their microphones in special cases. But at that moment, V was in a hurry. He entered the restroom, still chatting with Jungkook via Bluetooth earphones. Did you forget your contact lenses? No, but you. Plop. Thud. Splash. Silence. Taehyung froze. He heard a sound that couldn't be mistaken for anything else. He slowly turned around and the microphone lay at the bottom of the toilet. Reaction, denial, panic, philosophy. No, this didn't happen. I'm dreaming. This is a dream. Then, oh my God. It's expensive. It's custom made. It's wet. He carefully retrieved it from the water, like an archaeologist finding a relic in a swamp. He wrapped it in paper towels, blew on it, shook it, blotted it again, and went, not to a technician, but to the mirror. He told himself, you can do this. You are beautiful. You won't tell anyone. The return and the revelation. He returned to the dressing room and silently placed the microphone on the table. A couple of minutes later, the sound engineer approached. Why does the microphone smell like bleach? V flinched. Jimin caught a strange look. Did you drop it in the toilet? He asked, squinting. A pause. Then Taehyung nodded and quietly said, it is now spiritually cleansed. Everyone burst out laughing. Rehearsal. V sings with that microphone. When the soundcheck rehearsal began, everyone looked at V expectantly. He picked up the microphone like a magic wand and said, if I suddenly get an electric shock, remember me as cheerful. Fortunately, the microphone worked perfectly. Later, the staff eventually replaced it with a backup, but V insisted that that microphone be kept as a memento. He later told the story on air. In one of the backstage videos, he confessed, laughing. Yes, I dropped the microphone in the toilet. It was strange. But you know, sometimes life is just a random PLOP sound, and there's nothing you can do about it. Fans dubbed this episode the Toilet Mic Incident, and some even started creating memes and fan art of the gold-plated microphone lying in the toilet as a celebration of Taehyung's great self-irony. Since then, V jokes. The most important thing in life is not to drop important things, especially into water. BU Bangtan Universe, a universe of pain, friendship, and sacrifice. It didn't start with a theory, but with a music video. 2015, BTS releases I Need You. The video featured strange images. Jungkook lying on the street, V covered in blood, Jimin drowning in a bathtub, Suga setting a room on fire. Fans had expected romance, but got psychological drama instead. Then came Run, Prologue, Blood, Sweat, and Tears. With every new video, there appeared repetitions, mysteries, time loops, and symbols, as if referencing something bigger. A feeling arose. These aren't just music videos. These are parts of one big story. Fans began. Investigating ARMY around the world switched to Sherlock mode. Their discoveries formed the basis of a fan theory called Bangtan Universe, BU, a fictional universe where BTS members are heroes of a tragic story, intertwined with fate, trauma, and attempts to save each other. The core of the theory, one sacrifices themselves to save others. Fans notice that in the videos, Jin is always somewhat apart. He watches his friends from a distance. He sees their deaths, falls, and suffering. Each time, he tries to rewrite time. He gets into a car, flips through a diary, looks at photos, and goes back to the past again. But the more he does this, the more he breaks himself. If I save one, the other dies. How many times do I have to start over for us to be together? This is no longer just a theory. It is an epic saga about choices, the price of friendship, and survivor's guilt. The most dramatic, the Epiphany video. In this video, Jin finally accepts that he cannot save everyone. He turns the camera to himself and sings, "I'm the one I should love in this world." It's the moment when the hero stops saving others and starts saving himself. Why did this theory touch so many hearts? Because it's not a fairy tale about superheroes. It's about real feelings. Fear of losing friends, guilt, longing for what's lost. Millions of teenagers found their own anxiety and pain reflected in the story. It's poetry in the form of music, dance, and visuals woven into the group's career. Later, Big Hit confirmed, BU is an official part of the BTS universe they released. The Save Me Comics visual novels, a mobile game, a web drama, Youth, where actors play BTS heroes, and of course, all this added even more mysteries for fans. Conclusion: Bangtan Universe is a mirror of BTS, where each member is shown not as an idol, but as a person trying to cope with pain without losing love. As one fan said, they don't just sing. They build a world where pain can be told without shame. Jimin and the secret romance that warmed hearts at all started with a look. Jimin is one of the most beloved BTS members. His refined dance moves, soft voice, and sincere smile have won millions of hearts. But like any idol, he was the subject of romantic rumors that frequently appeared in fan communities and the media. In 2017, during one of the concerts on the Wings tour, fans noticed that Jimin looked especially warmly at one of the members. Immediately, rumors began to spread. Jimin is in a relationship with V? Or Jimin and Jungkook, secret couple? Hunting for details, ARMY analyzed every movement, every glance, every gesture. There were clips where Jimin gently fixes V's hair, moments when he playfully pushes Jungkook, scenes where he seemed upset if one of the members was too far away. These small details were perceived as signs of deep closeness and sparked lively discussions. Funny moments and memes, Jimin himself, like the other members, often laughed at these rumors. At one fan meeting, he joked, "If I ever get married, I will definitely invite all of ARMY. Because you are my family." He always took the romantic gossip with humor, which only strengthened fans' love for him. Moreover, in one vlog, Jin remarked, "Jimin, you have so many fans that we guys are even a little bit jealous." This sparked a wave of jokes and memes online, where Jin competes for Jimin's attention. Personal moments and intimacy. But behind the jokes were genuine, warm moments. Jimin shared that he is often shy and vulnerable, but in BTS he feels at home. He maintains close friendships with RM, Jungkook, and others, and these relationships are very important to him. Once he said in an interview, "We're like one family." Sometimes it feels like we're not just colleagues, but brothers and sisters who are always there for each other. It is this sincere friendship, not romance, that lies at the heart of his relationships with the members. From fans, love, From the media, rumors. Since BTS's popularity was enormous, media and tabloids often spread rumors about romances, which was almost the norm for stars of their caliber. But fans appreciated that the group members have always approached their feelings in public lives, honestly and respectfully, not allowing rumors to destroy their friendship and career. Conclusion: Jimin's story and the romantic rumors are an example of how sincerity and humor can protect against negativity. True friendship is more important than any gossip, and how fans' love can become the strongest support. When stars clash, the real story of a BTS argument, it all started as usual. BTS is not just a group. They're a family. But like any family, misunderstandings sometimes happen, especially under huge pressure, endless rehearsals, tours, millions of expectations. In 2019, during preparations for the Map of the Soul tour, the members worked around the clock, exhausted, sometimes getting little sleep. A tense day and a small trigger. One day, Jungkook and Jimin stayed late for rehearsal, and RM noticed some members weren't paying as much attention as usual. As the leader, RM tried to gently address it, but this time, his words were taken differently. "Why aren't you keeping the schedule? We're a team, and everyone must give 100%. Jimin felt pressured, and Jungkook, tired and irritated, snapped back. "We're human too, RM. We try, but sometimes we need a break." An argument that shook the group tension rose. Other members, including V and Suga, tried to ease the situation, but the conversation escalated into a more serious dispute. RM felt unheard, while others thought he was too strict. "You forget that we're tired too," said V. "But I just want everything to be perfect for our fans," responded RM. How they reconciled the next day after the tense talk. BTS gathered together. Jin suggested they speak openly. Each shared their feelings. Jimin admitted feeling overwhelmed. Jungkook explained how fatigue affected his mood. RM talked about his responsibility and fear of letting fans down. These sincere words helped ease the tension. Conclusion: stronger together. The argument showed the members how important it is to listen to each other and value support. They realized that even in the hardest moments, they need to be tolerant. Later, RM said in an interview, "We're human. We have struggles, but those struggles make us stronger and closer." Why this story matters? Because it reminds fans that BTS are not flawless idols, but real people with emotions, fears, and mistakes. And that real strength lies in the ability to forgive and support each other. Jin and the legend of the rice incident started the day. Jin is known not only as BTS's vocal visual, but also as a great foodie who loves cooking and eating delicious food. Fans often joke that Jin is the group's chef. One day, during the filming of a variety show, Jin took on cooking a simple but important dish, rice. Rice mistake. Under the shooting conditions and a tight schedule, Jin, as always, wanted everything perfect. But this time, something went wrong. He miscalculated the amount of water for the rice. Instead of fluffy, separate grains, the rice turned out too wet and very sticky. Jin smiled and said, "Looks like I made the stickiest rice in BTS history." Viral moment: this moment aired, and fans literally exploded on social media with memes and jokes. Jin, master of rice glue. When you want delicious food, but the rice throws a stickiness party. Later, Jin posted videos trying the rice with a smile, saying, "This dish is perfect for those who love playing catch the grain." Care and love, but fans appreciated not only the funny accident, but also how Jin tries to delight and support the guys. He often cooks for the group despite his busy schedule. Even when tired, he puts his heart into the food. And this funny rice incident became a reminder. Perfect doesn't always mean flawless. Sometimes joy is found in little things. Conclusion: since then, Jin's sticky rice has become a legend among ARMY, a symbol of his humanity and warmth. Even years later, fans remember this story with a smile, because it shows that behind a huge star stands a simple and sincere person. Jungkook's microphone prank, Jungkook, is known for his sense of humor and love of pranks. Once during rehearsal, he decided to tease RM. Turning on a hidden microphone, Jungkook quietly imitated RM, copying his voice and gestures. At first, RM noticed nothing, but then he heard someone's voice repeating his words from the speakers, only funnier and delayed. RM tried to understand where the sound was coming from, while Jungkook and the others quietly giggled backstage. In the end, RM just laughed and said, Alright, Counted Kooky, you got me. When Jin forgot the lyrics at a concert during one live performance, Jin suddenly froze on stage. He simply forgot the words to the chorus. Instead of panicking, he joked into the microphone, "Looks like I'm about to invent a new set of lyrics." All the members started laughing, and ARMY supported the joke with loud cheers. Jin quickly remembered the words and continued singing, and this moment became a fan favorite. They even called it Jin's improv moment. V's pillow prank. V loves playing little pranks. While resting at a hotel, he quietly placed a pillow under Jungkook's seat, so that when Jungkook sat down, the seat made a funny squeaking sound. Jungkook was startled at first, but then laughed along with everyone else. This moment was included in one of their vlogs, and fans talked about this funny prank for a long time. J-Hope's dance flash mob J-Hope is known for his energy and great sense of rhythm. At one concert, he unexpectedly started dancing during a break between songs, inviting all the members to join him. It was so contagious that even the technical staff couldn't resist and began bobbing along. This flash mob became a BTS tradition, a small reminder that even on big stages you can be yourself and have fun. Jin's mask prank. During the filming of a show, Jin decided to prank V a little. He put on a mask with a very funny and strange design and quietly approached V from behind. When V turned around, he was initially scared, but then saw it was Jin and laughed. After that, Jin regularly used different masks to prank the members, and fans loved these moments. Pizza attack in the kitchen. One time BTS were having an evening in the kitchen, cooking together. Jimin decided to joke around and quietly threw a piece of pizza at Jungkook's face while everyone was distracted. Jungkook, of course, retaliated. That started a real pizza battle, which ended with everyone laughing and taking lots of fun photos. Funny mic incident with Suga during a concert. SUGA's microphone suddenly stopped working at a crucial moment. Instead of panicking, Suga just kept rapping quietly, and when the mic turned back on, he added, "Did you hear all that? I'm doing an exclusive acoustic set." Fans loved his self-irony. J-Hope's hat chase. At an event, a strong wind blew J-Hope's hat off his head. He started running after it across the stage, trying to catch it. The members and audience watched the chase smiling, and J-Hope eventually caught the hat and turned it into a whole show. Fans watched this moment many times afterwards. Dance with the Janitor by RM. One day after rehearsal, RM noticed a janitor in the studio hallway and decided to lift her spirits. He started dancing to music playing through his headphones. The woman was surprised at first, but then she smiled too. The video quickly spread on social media, showing that BTS are very kind and sincere guys. When RM supported a fan with depression one day on social media, an ARMY fan shared a story about struggling with severe depression and feeling like they couldn't cope. The fan wrote a letter to BTS describing their feelings and how the group's music helps them hold on. RM personally responded with a video message saying, "You're not alone. Sometimes life is very hard, and it's okay to feel pain. But I believe that with us, with our music, you'll find the strength to move forward." This video inspired thousands, and the fan later said RM's words were a true salvation for them. Supporting each other during SUGA's illness when Suga faced serious health problems, specifically carpal tunnel syndrome, the group immediately rallied around him. Despite a busy schedule, the members personally visited clinics, helped him with rehabilitation, and did everything to make sure he didn't feel alone. In an interview, Jin admitted, "When one of us falls, we all lift him up together. It is this solidarity that helps BTS get through any difficulties." Letters from fans and Jimin's response. Jimin always said that it's the love of ARMY that gives him strength. He often receives letters in which fans share their stories of battling anxiety, loneliness, and stress. Once he read one such letter during a concert and told the audience, "You are my family. I read your letters, and they help me be better every day." This moment became one of the most touching in the group's career, and fans felt a true connection. How BTS dealt with fatigue and pressure during big tours and intense shootings. The members face severe fatigue and emotional burnout. Jungkook shared in an interview that in such moments, the support of others helps him. When you feel like your strength is gone, having friends nearby, it changes everything. They shared songs, joked, and together found the strength to move forward. Conclusion. These stories show that BTS is not just a group, but a community of support and love. Their sincerity and openness help millions around the world feel understood and not alone.